The heart-wrenching moment that left millions of viewers heartbroken. Young Princess Charlotte, often seen as a secure and serene member of the royal family, could not hold back her tears. On that unforgettable day, something completely different happened. The 7-year-old cried while her mother tried to console her. You won't believe the shocking reason behind her breakdown. The perfect image of the royal family crumbles. Princess Charlotte, with her sweet demeanor and occasional mischievous smile, has been a favorite among fans. Like her older brother, Prince George, she was raised under the watchful eye of the public. But the impeccable image of the royal family sometimes hides the deep emotional struggles that come with being in the spotlight. For Charlotte, this moment would be the one that reminded the world that even royalty has its breaking points. The scene unfolded during a highly anticipated televised event, where the royal family made a rare joint appearance. Everything seemed to be going well, with the family interacting with the public and sharing some moments of joy. Charlotte, standing next to her parents, seemed as charming as ever. Until the unexpected happened. Suddenly, the young princess, who had maintained her composure, seemed on the verge of a flood of tears. As the camera zoomed in, Charlotte could not contain her emotions and began to crumble before the eyes of millions. At first, it seemed like a minor moment, a small child overwhelmed by the attention and chaos of the event. But as her tears continued, it became clear that something more significant was at play. It wasn't just the pressure of being a royal or the bright lights of the cameras. Something deeply personal seemed to be at stake. The unexpected emotional outburst of the young princess sparked curiosity around the world, and it wasn't long before speculations began to circulate. The cause began to emerge. "I had never seen her like this before," an online viewer commented. Princess Charlotte had always been so serene, and seeing her so vulnerable was heart-wrenching and revealing for many who witnessed the scene. It was a reminder that the royal family, despite their grace and elegance, are also human and sometimes experience moments of emotional vulnerability. In that instant, Charlotte, who had always been an example of strength, showed the world a side of herself that few had seen before. But what led Princess Charlotte to break down in front of the cameras? Was it the overwhelming pressure of royal duties, or was there something more personal behind this unexpected display of emotion? The mystery surrounding the incident only intensified the moment, leaving admirers and royal watchers with a deep sense of empathy for the young princess. Princess Charlotte's breakdown on live television was not just a moment of temporary vulnerability, it was the world's first glimpse of the pressures and emotional cost she carried at such an early age. Although many quickly assume that growing up as a member of the royal family means living a life of luxury and privilege, the reality is much more complex. Princess Charlotte, like her brother and other royals, is thrust into the public eye from an early age, constantly under scrutiny and expected to maintain the regal image that has been built over centuries. Growing up in a family that constantly faces intense public attention is not easy, especially for a child. As Princess Charlotte began to mature, the weight of her role in the royal family became heavier. While her older brother, Prince George, was often the center of attention as the future heir to the throne, Charlotte's role, although important, came with its own set of challenges. As a young royal, she was expected to be exemplary in every way, serene and elegant at all times. In moments of stress, exhaustion, and even loneliness, the life of the royal family is not always as graceful and dignified as it appears in public. According to close sources, Princess Charlotte's breakdown was partly due to the overwhelming stress of a public appearance that had taken an emotional toll on her. Despite her young age, Charlotte had already been exposed to the demands of royal life, including the expectations of both her family and the public. "It's not easy being a child in the royal spotlight," commented a source. "There is a level of responsibility that comes with it, and sometimes it can affect them." As Princess Charlotte appeared more frequently in public, her ability to handle the intense media presence was put to the test. Although she had managed to fulfill her royal duties with grace, there were moments when the pressure simply became too much for her. Her emotional breakdown was a clear indication that the weight of these duties, however small they may seem to some, had begun to affect her in unexpected ways. The royal family, known for its resilience, has often been criticized for shielding their children from the realities of life in the public eye. However, Charlotte's emotional outburst highlighted that even royals have their breaking points. The moment when Charlotte cried was not just the reaction of a child to an overwhelming situation, it was a reminder that her life, though filled with opportunities, comes with emotional sacrifices that the public does not always understand. "She is just a little girl who has to live under the microscope," said another source. For those who witnessed the breakdown, it was a powerful moment of empathy. Charlotte, the young princess with the world at her feet, showed the world that even in the gilded cage of royalty, children experience emotions and struggles that cannot be ignored. After Princess Charlotte's breakdown, her family supported her. In concern, the world watched the emotional breakdown on live television. Quickly, she was removed from the public eye, while the incident left many people distraught and questioning the pressures imposed on the young princess. As always, the royal family rallied around her to provide the support and comfort she needed at that moment. The parents of Princess Charlotte, Prince William and Kate Middleton, clearly showed their concern but maintained their composure in front of the camera. According to sources close to the family, they immediately took their daughter to a private room to console her and ensure she was all right. They knew she was struggling, and as parents, they wanted to ensure she was cared for in the most compassionate way possible. A source close to the family shared that the pressure to always appear perfect is immense, especially for children, and both parents understand this better than anyone. It became clear that Princess Charlotte's breakdown was not just a momentary lapse but a sign that something deeper was affecting her. Although her parents strive to maintain a sense of normality for their children, there is an understanding within the family that their royal roles come with unique challenges. Prince William and Kate, who have faced their own share of public scrutiny and personal struggles, are fully aware of how emotionally demanding life in the royal family can be for their little ones. Sources revealed that, after the event, Princess Charlotte was given time to process her emotions in private, away from the cameras and the prying eyes of the public. William and Kate did everything possible to give Charlotte the space she needed, according to another close friend. They understand that it is not easy growing up under the constant gaze of the media and the public. They were there for her, helping her understand her feelings and offering support. Their full support. Although the collapse of Princess Charlotte left many with a sense of sympathy, it also highlighted the royal family's commitment to keeping their children grounded and supported, despite the world's expectations. William and Kate have always made a conscious effort to protect their children from the pressures of public life. In an environment away from the pressures of their public roles, it is crucial to ensure that their children experience as normal a childhood as possible. They want Charlotte and George to know that they are loved for who they are, not just for their titles. The source shared that, in the following days, the royal couple took additional steps to ensure that Charlotte felt safe and loved, keeping her away from more public appearances until she was emotionally ready. Their focus was on healing and assuring their daughter that she could express herself freely, even if the weight of her role sometimes became too overwhelming. A turning point in the aftermath of her emotional crisis, Princess Charlotte's resilience began to shine as the days passed. It became clear that the young princess was not going to let the moment define her. Surrounded by the love and support of her family, Charlotte took the time she needed to heal, but also showed remarkable strength in recovering. Her parents, William and Kate, were by her side at every step, offering her not only comfort but also encouragement to continue embracing her role with grace. Princess Charlotte's emotional crisis may have been a wake-up call for many who saw her as a serene royal with everything under control. However, in the days following the incident, she surprised everyone by quickly regaining her composure and returning to her public duties with a maturity that belied her young years. "She is a resilient child," said a family friend. "It is amazing to see how she is processing everything and advancing, especially given the emotional weight of that moment." Despite the emotional toll the event took on her, Charlotte's natural curiosity and joy soon returned. She was seen spending time with her family, participating in fun activities, and interacting with her brothers, Prince George and Prince Louis, with her characteristic energy. The support of her parents and the united royal family allowed Charlotte to find strength in the midst of an emotionally difficult moment. During this period of reflection, Charlotte found her voice, instead of being drowned out by the overwhelming expectations of her role. She began to express her feelings more openly with her family. It was important for us to make Charlotte feel safe to express herself, whether happy, sad, or confused, shared Kate Middleton in a rare moment of candor. We want her to feel that she can always be herself, no matter what. This experience became a turning point for Princess Charlotte, one in which she learned the importance of emotional expression and resilience. As she continues to grow, it is clear that the royal family is dedicated to ensuring she is equipped with the emotional tools to navigate the complexities of her life while staying true to herself. The emotional breakdown of Princess Charlotte on live television was not just a rare moment of vulnerability, it was an unfiltered look at the immense burden of expectations that weigh on her young shoulders. As a member of the royal family, Charlotte is not only expected to behave with grace and poise but to do so at all times under the watchful eye of the public and the media. This constant pressure to be perfect can be exhausting, especially for someone so young.